Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna. Shri Hari Prabhu, Samyukta Mataji, Vani Mataji, Deepa Mataji, Raja Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all glory Shri Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining today. We'll start Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, 8th chapter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनकारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् ॐ अपवित्र पवित्रो वा सर्वाः सङ्गतो विभवः यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं स बाह्याभ्यन्तरं शुचिः श्रीविष्णु 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 Let me share this. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bodhinaishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Chananda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaraya Namo Pankajanetraya Namo Pankajamraya. So thank you very much again. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto entitled as Cosmic Manifestation. This is the chapter 8. We are reading questions by Parikshit Maharaja. So I will read this classification and then we'll continue. So sections, subsections. So 2.8 questions by Parikshit Maharaja. First 1 to 6 talks about Parikshit inspires Sukadeva Goswami to speak Harikatha. So Parikshit inspires Sukadeva Goswami to speak Harikatha. Like, in order to relish hearer and chanter, two personalities there, right? So both can be relished. How can be both can be relished? Because one has to inspire. Attentive hearing. Srila Prabhupada also attentive hearing when in his first meeting with his Guru Maharaja, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. So he was attentive hearing that attracts Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. Oh, so very attentive in hearing, very nice. So that is a quality, hearer and chanter, attentive hearing that likes the chanter, whoever speaking likes it much. Oh, pay attention. That's why we say no, pay attention. So that's the thing. So here also Parikshit inspires Sukadeva Goswami to speak Harikatha. Explain Narada Muni's preaching exploits. Explain Narada Muni's preaching exploits. 2 to 6, glories of Harikatha. Purification of heart, manifestation of the Lord in the heart. Devotee never gives up the Lord's lotus feet. This first 6 verses talks about this one. 7 to 23, questions by Parikshit Maharaj. 7 to 11, questions about the Lord and the Jiva. And 11 to 23, questions about the Kala, Karma and other topics. So in the Bhagavad Gita also, Srila Prabhupada written big first 20-30 pages introduction. He explained all the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Anybody? Quickly. What is that? In the Bhagavad Gita introduction, Srila Prabhupada writes, what Bhagavad Gita talks about? 5 major topics.
Bhagavan, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Our friend, Bhagavan Prabhu, BJP KK. BJP KK, now BJP. What is the BJP KK? Tell me, BJP?
Bhagavan, Jiva, Prakriti.
That's it. Bhagavan, Jiva, Prakriti, and
Kala
KK.
karma.
Kala,
Kala
Karma.
Karma, that's it. So here also he wanted to know who is Lord, what is the Jivas, what is the Kala, Karma, and etc. Question by Parikshit Maharaj also. 24 to 29, Maharaja Parikshit inspires Sukadeva Goswami to speak. 24 to 25, please answer all that I have inquired as well as not inquired. Please answer all that I have inquired as well. Excuse me. Please answer all that I have inquired as well as not inquired. And 26, I am not feeling exhaustion due to fasting. I am not feeling exhaustion due to fasting. And 27 to 29, Sukadeva Goswami concludes. A very interesting topic, interesting chapter we will read. So let me open this page. To the EIH. Yeah. Yes. From text one we'll read. So let me see this PDF one more time. So first 1 to 6 chapter inspiring. Parikshit Maharaj inspiring Sukadeva Goswami, and 2 to 6 verses talks about Harikatha. What when we hear Harikatha, what happens? Purification of heart, manifestation of the Lord in the heart, and devotee never gives up the Lord's lotus feet. So these first 6 verses, there are some context there. So we'll start with Mataji's, okay. Your mother, Vani Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, Nitan Sharma.
Yeah.
Sri.
Translation chavala, Prabhuji?
Translation and purpose only, yes.
Okay, translation. Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, how did Narada Muni, whose hearers are as fortunate as those instructed by Lord Brahma, explain the transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is without material qualities, and before whom did he speak? Purpose. Devarshi Narada was directly instructed by Brahmaji, who was also directly instructed by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the instructions imparted by Narada to his various disciples are as good as those of the Supreme Lord. That is the way of understanding Vedic knowledge. It comes down from the Lord by disciplinic succession, and this transcendental knowledge is distributed to the world by this descending process. There is no chance, however, to receive the Vedic knowledge from mental speculators. Therefore, whatever Narad Muni goes, wherever Narad Muni goes, he represents himself as authorized by the Lord, and his appearance is as good as that of the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the disciplinic succession which strictly follows the transcendental instruction is the bona fide chain of disciplinic succession, and the test for such bona fide spiritual masters is that there should be no difference between the instruction of the Lord originally imparted to his devotee and that which is imparted by the authority in the line of disciplinic succession. How Narada Muni distributed the transcendental knowledge of the Lord will be explained in the later cantos. It will appear also that the Lord existed prior to the material creation, and therefore his transcendental name, quality, etc. do not represent any material quality. Whenever, therefore, the Lord is described as aguna or without any quality, it does not mean that he has no quality, but that he has no material quality, such as the modes of goodness, passion, or ignorance, as the conditioned souls have. He is transcendent to all material conceptions, and thus he is described as aguna.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. So, what is saying? Explain Narada Muni's preaching explained. That's why. So, we'll see. Samyukta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The king said, I wish to know narrations concerning the Lord, who possesses wonderful potencies, are certainly auspicious for living beings in all planets. Purport: Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of narrations of the activities of the Supreme Lord, is auspicious for all living beings residing in every planet. One who takes it as belonging to a particular sect is certainly mistaken. Srimad Bhagavatam is certainly a very dear scripture for all the devotees of the Lord, but it is auspicious even for the non-devotees also, because it explains that even the non-devotees hovering under the spell of material energy can be delivered from such clutches if they hear the narration of the Srimad Bhagavatam with devotion and attention from the right source, representing the Lord by disciplic succession. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Deepa Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. O greatly fortunate Shukdev Goswami, please continue narrating Srimad Bhagavatam so that I can place my mind upon the Supreme Soul Lord Krishna and being completely freed from material qualities, thus relinquish this body. Purport: to be fully engaged in hearing the transcendental narration described in the text of Srimad Bhagavatam means to constantly associate with the Supreme Soul Sri Krishna, and to constantly associate with the Supreme Lord Krishna means to be liberated from the qualities of matter. Lord Krishna is like the sun, and material contamination is like darkness. As the presence of the sun dissipates darkness, constant engagement in the association of Lord Shri Krishna frees one from the contamination of the material qualities. Contamination by the material qualities is the cause of repeated birth and death, and liberation from material qualities is transcendence. Maharaja Parikshit was now a realized soul by the secret of liberation through the grace of Shukdev Goswami, for the latter had informed the king that the highest perfection of life is to be in remembrance of Narayana at the end of life. Maharaja Parikshit was destined to give up his body at the end of 7 days, and thus he decided to continue remembering the Lord by his association with the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus to quit his body in full consciousness of the presence of Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Soul. The hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam performed by professional men is different from the transcendental hearing of Maharaja Parikshit. Maharaja Parikshit was a soul realized in the absolute truth, Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The fruitive materialist is not a realized soul. He wants to derive some material benefit from his so-called hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam. Undoubtedly, such an audience hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the professional men can derive some material benefit as they desire. But that does not mean that such a pretense of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam for a week is as good as the hearing of Maharaja Parikshit. It is the duty of the saint to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from a self-realized soul and not be duped by professional men. One should continue such hearing till the end of one's life so that one can actually have the transcendental association of the Lord and thus be liberated simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Maharaja Parikshit had already given up all his connections with his kingdom and family, the most attractive features of materialism, but still he was conscious of his material body. He wanted to be free of such bondage also by the constant association of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Ante Narayana Smriti. Basically, this one Prabhupada writes in his purport here. This one. Maharaja Parikshit was now a realized soul by the secret of liberation through the grace of Sukadeva Goswami. For the later, he had informed the king that the highest perfection of life is to be remembrance of Narayana at the end of life. Ante Narayana Smriti. First 3 lines we have practiced in our Bhakti Vaibhava. What is that first 3 lines, anybody? Anyway, okay. Now, Sri Hari Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Sri Hari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, are you able to read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, translation and proportion. Yeah, please read. Text 4 translation and purport.
1 second, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Yeah.
Translation. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time. Purport. Cheap devotees or materialistic devotees of the Lord are very much desirous to see the Lord personally without meeting the requisite qualifications. Such third grade devotees should know well that material attachment and seeing the Lord face to face cannot go together. It is not such a mechanical process that the professional Bhagavatam reciters can do the job on behalf of the third grade materialistic pseudo devotee. The professional men are useless in this connection because they are neither self realized nor interested in the liberation of the audience. They are simply interested in maintaining the material establishment of family attachment and earning some material benefits out of the profession. Maharaja Parikshit had no more than 7 days to live, but for others, Maharaj Parikshit personally recommends that one hears Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, Nityam, always by one's own effort and with serious devotion also. That will help one to see the Lord Sri Krishna manifested in one's heart within no time. The pseudo devotee, however, is very anxious to see the Lord according to his whims, not making any serious effort to hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, and without detachment from material benefit. That is not the way recommended by an authority like Maharaj Parikshit, who heard and benefited by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you, Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. That we are doing. Thank you very much. Raja Prabhu, are you driving or are you not? Are you able to read? Driving. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Madhavi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I will read
Hare Krishna. Please read.
translation. The sound incarnation of Lord Supreme Soul.
Your voice a little low, Mataji. Koncham choose.
The sound. Are you hearing the
Yeah.
the
But
sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus, it acts like autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. Purport. It is said that a single pure devotee of the Lord can deliver all the fallen souls of the world. Thus, one who is actually in the contents of a pure devotee like Narada or Sukadeva Goswami, and that is thus is empowered by one's spiritual master, as Narada was by Brahmaji, can't only deliver himself from the clutches of Maya or illusion, but can deliver the whole world by his pure and empowered devotional strength. The comparison to the autumnal rain that falls on muddy reservoirs of water is very appropriate. During the rainy season, all the waters of the rivers become muddy. But in the month of July, August, the autumn season, when there is slight rainfall, the muddy waters of the rivers all over the world become at once clear. By addition of some chemical, a small reservoir of water like that of a metropolitan water works tank can be cleared, but by such a tiny effort, it is not possible to clear up all the reservoirs of water like the rivers. A powerful devotee of the Lord, however, can deliver not only his personal self, but also many others in his association.
So, Mataji, it's a big purport. We'll give it to.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe better you read one more paragraph and then okay. Read one more paragraph. This one.
In other words, the cleansing of the polluted heart by other methods, like the culture of empiric knowledge or mystic gymnastics, can simply cleanse one's own heart. But devotional service to the Lord is so powerful that it can cleanse the hearts of the people in general. By the devotional service of the pure empowered devotee. A true representative of the Lord like Narada, Sukadeva Goswami, Lord Chaitanya, the six Goswamis, and later Srila Bhakti Vinoda Tagore and Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, etc., can deliver all people by their empowered devotional service. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Mother. Thank you, Mother. Lalitma Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Yeah. By sincere efforts to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, one realizes his constitutional relationship with the Lord in the transcendental humor of servitude, friendship, parental affection, or conjugal love. And by such self-realization, one becomes situated at once in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Not only were all the pure devotees like Narada self-realized souls, but they were engaged in preaching work automatically by spiritual impetus, and thus they delivered many poor souls entangled in the material modes. They became so powerful because they sincerely followed the Bhagavatam principles by regularly hearing and worshipping. By such actions, the accumulated material lust, etc., become cleansed by personal endeavor of the Lord within the heart. The Lord is always within the heart of the living being, but he becomes manifested by one's devotional service. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Complete.
Chaimandra, okay. Purification of the heart by culture of knowledge or mystic yoga may be all right for the time being for an individual person, but it is like a cleansing of small quantity of a stagnant water by chemical process. Such clarification of water may stand for a time being and the sediments settle down. But by a slight agitation, everything becomes muddy again. The idea is that devotional service to the Lord is the only method of cleansing the heart for good, whereas other methods may be superficially good for the time being. There is a risk of becoming muddy again due to agitation of the mind. Devotional service to the Lord with specific attention for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and always is the best recommended method for liberation from the clutches of illusion. Jai Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu.
So nicely written. Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Let me read this. 2.8.6 Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A pure devotee of the Lord, whose heart has once been cleansed by the process of devotion service, never relinquishes the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, for they fully satisfy them. For they fully satisfy him, as a traveler is satisfied at home after a troubled journey. Yes, purport. One who is not a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord Krishna is not completely cleansed in the heart, but a perfectly cleansed person never quits the devotional service of the Lord. In discharging such devotional service, as ordered by Brahmaji to Narada in the preaching of Srimad Bhagavatam, sometimes a representative of the Lord engaged in preaching work meets various so-called difficulties. This was exhibited by Lord Nityananda when he delivered the two fallen souls, Jaga and Madai. And similarly, Lord Jesus Christ was crucified by the non-believers. But such difficulties are very gladly suffered by the devotees in preaching, because in such activities, although apparently very severe, the devotees of the Lord feel transcendental pleasure because the Lord is satisfied. Prahlada Maharaja suffered greatly, but still he never forgot the lotus feet of the Lord. This is because a pure devotee of the Lord is so purified in his heart that he cannot leave the shelter of Lord Krishna in any circumstances. There is no self-interest in such service. Very important. There is no self-interest in such a service. The progress of culturing knowledge by jnanis or the bodily gymnastics by the yogis are ultimately given up by the respective performers. But devotee of the Lord cannot give up the service of the Lord, for he is ordered by his spiritual master. Pure devotees like Narada and Nityananda Prabhu take up the order of the spiritual master as the sustenance of life. They do not mind what becomes of the future of their lives. They take the matter very seriously, as the order comes from the higher authority. from the representative of the Lord or from the Lord himself. The example set herein is very appropriate. A traveler leaves home to search for wealth in far distant places, sometimes in the forest and sometimes on the ocean and sometimes on hilltops. Certainly, there are many troubles for the traveler when he is in such unknown places. But all such problems are at once mitigated as soon as the sense of his family affection is remembered, and as soon as he returns home, he forgets all such troubles on the way. A pure devotee of the Lord is exactly in a family tie with the Lord, and therefore he is undeterred. Therefore, he is undeterred in discharging his duty in a full affectionate tie with the Lord. Another beautiful.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Namaskar. Prabhu, sorry, Prabhu, today I was late. Actually, this fourth and fifth slokas, they are very, very important, Prabhu, in regards to the hearing.
Acha.
One is that Srutekshita, means seeing through the ears, and the other one is how Krishna enters into the heart. So this fourth shloka tells how Krishna enters into the heart actually. It is through the ears.
284.
Yeah, 284, Prabhu.
అదే చెప్తున్నాను మరి you want to recite once, Prabhu?
Yeah. 284 and 285, 286, all the three are very important, but 284 and 5 are most important actually.
మూడు అక్కడ మీరు ఒకసారి వేయండి, do once.
How he enters into the heart and what happens after he entering into the heart. Okay, this actually signifies the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam and reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, why it is so important.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Shrinvata Shraddhaya Nityam. Can you please repeat from Prabhu? Acha, okay. Shrinvatah Shraddhaya Nityam Grinantascha Svachestitam Kalina Nati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridihi.
Shrinvata Shraddhaya
Nityam
Grinatascha
Svachestitam
Kalena Nati
Dirghena
Bhagavan
Vishate Hridi. He will come and sit into the heart. While we hear, through the ears he comes and he sit into the heart. This is what it is. Nati Dirghena is important, Prabhu. Very prolonged time. Okay.
Slowly.
Persons, yeah. So now what he does after doing it? After coming inside. Pravishtah karna randrena swanam bhava saroruham dhunoti shamalam krishna salilasya yatha sharat.
Pravishtah karnarandrena swanam
bhavasaruruham
dhunoti
shamalam krishna salilasya yatha sharat.
Salilasya Hari Bol. Yes.
So we'll do 6 also, okay? Dhautatma Purusha Krishna Padamulam Namunchati Mukta Sarva Parikleshaha Pantha Saranam Yata. A pure devotee of the Lord whose heart. Yeah, please go ahead.
Dhautatma Purusha
Krishna
Padamulam Namunchati
Mukta
Sarva Parikleshaha Pantha Saranam Yata.
Yes, Prabhu, you read translation. ఒక పని చేయండి Prabhu. మీరు 3 translation చదవండి మంచి మరోసారి.
Yeah. 84 translation. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time. Okay. The sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship and thus cleanses the dust of material association such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus, it acts like a autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. A pure devotee of the Lord, whose heart has once been cleansed by the process of devotional service, never again relinquishes the lotus feet, never relinquishes the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, for they fully satisfy him. As a traveler is satisfied at home after a troubled journey. So, what happens? Once when it enters, all this lust, anger, greed increases, Prabhuji, actually. Initially, they increase like anything. And we will start feeling, I would have been better if I am not, Krishna conscious. Because after coming into KC, all these feelings got increased like anything. Prabhu, understanding, na?
Yeah.
We might feel like that actually. After coming into Krishna consciousness, I became more lusty. I became more greedy. I became more, angry. Earlier, my life was far better. We would think like that. But the second, stanza in this, the fifth one is the answer. The mud comes out. The mud comes out and it will get, discharged. So when the mud comes out, there will be a lot of agitation of these desires and all. But this agitation is actually what Krishna is doing because he has entered into the heart already. So he's cleaning up. So once the cleaning process is started, all these things increases. But what we should do? We should still carry on. Okay, we should still carry on with Krishna consciousness, with Srimad Bhagavatam, with this process. Then what happens? Once we became Nishta, after this Anartha Nivritti and all, once we become Nishta, what happens? We will never again give up this. Okay, this process of Krishna consciousness for material, anything material. So when Prabhu, I'm sorry, Prabhu, today I'm in this mood. These are very important shlokas, Prabhu, because Parikshit Maharaj, he wanted to convey to Sukadev Goswami, that please tell me more. And then he will ask some questions for which the whole Bhagavatam is described. The third chapter, third canto till 12th canto, the answers for these questions will come. Okay? And before posing that questions, he will tell that, what does Srimad Bhagavatam does. Now he is only second day. It is only second day afternoon. It is happening. Okay? This story is happening now. But he is telling that I am not hungry, I am not thirsty. You please continue. That's what he is telling to Sukadev Goswami. And then what did he say? Once it enters into the ears of any person, it goes and sits into the heart. What? The Srimad Bhagavatam Shravana. It sits into the heart. And what does it do? It will create a muddy pools. Why? That's what happens when the rain comes, the all mud comes into the water. And then what happens? It will take some time, 2 or 3 months. Then it will get settled down. And once it's settled down, what happens? The whole mud will go and the spring comes. And that is a perfect time for a devotee to do his devotional service. And what is that springtime? Nishta in the personal process of a devotee. And before that, he will do through this Anartha Nivritti process happens, to the devotee, whereby all these things get increased. And he will think, Arey, इससे पहले ही अच्छा था मैं. Before coming into Krishna consciousness, I was very good actually. I was not this bad earlier, but now things are more worse than what I was before. So that is a coming out of water. So in this perspective, there is one more thing, Prabhuji. Like, see what happens after Anartha Nivritti. There is a shloka for Vritrasura. Vritrasura says one shloka to inspire Indra to kill him. What do he say? Nanaka prishtam nacha parameshyam na yoga siddhir na punar. Okay. There is a Nanaka prishtam. What he says is, see, I don't want anything.
We'll find out what is it.
Yeah, Nanaka prishtam nacha parameshyam.
Lalata, no?
Na, N-A, Nanaka. N-A-K-A. N-A-K-A. Nanaka Prishtham, P-R-S-H. Oh, K-A, K-A, Nanaka. Not 10th one.
Okay.
It's in somewhere 5th or 6th canto it comes. 6th canto it comes. Nanaka, K-A, K-A, Prabhu.
K-A.
A. Nanaka Prishtham. No. Let me check Prabhu if I can get anywhere. No. Please read that. We will do that sloka today, Prabhu. I am sorry, but that is very, of whole this Vritrasura pastime, that is the best pastime. That is the best sloka which we can get. Nanaka Prishtham. 6th canto, Prabhu. 6-11-25. I got it.
6-11?
25. Yes. So Indra got a Dadiji's weapon in his hand, but he is still fearful and he is running away the battlefield. So this Vritrasura will catch hold of him and tell him, please kill me. You know what you have? You have a Dadiji's weapon, which is, nothing but a Vishnu's weapon itself directly. So you can kill me. Why are you, running away? Do your duty, Baba. That's what he will tell, and then he will say the shloka. Okay. In that context, there is a lot of shlokas in which one shloka is this thing, which is very this thing. So everyone, please repeat after me. Very, very good shloka this is. Prabhu, can you please just scroll up, Prabhu? Yeah. Nanakapristham nacha parameshyam. Please repeat. Nanakapristham nacha parameshyam. न सार्वभौमं नरसाधिपत्यम्
न सार्वभौमं
न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा
न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं
समन्यसत्त्वा विरहय्यकाङ्क्षे One more time, please. Okay. Nanakapristham न च पारमेष्ट्यम्
ननाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ट्यं
न सार्वभौमं नरसाधिपत्यम्
न सार्वभौमं नरसाधिपत्यं
न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा
न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा
समन्यसत्त्वा विरहैयकाङ्क्षे Na means not. Okay. So this is a state of a person who already become Krishna consciousness and who don't want to leave. Means he became Nishta. Okay. Once he becomes Nishta, what happens is first line na nakaprishtam na cha parameshtyam. Nakaprishtam means Dhruvaloka. Okay. I don't want Dhruvaloka. Na cha parameshtyam. Parameshtyam means I don't want to, the Parameshta means where Lord Brahma resides. Okay, I don't want the world of the planet of Brahma. One is Dhruvaloka, the best of the lokas in this material world. I don't want it. The next one is Brahmaloka. I also don't want it. Okay. Na Sarvabhaumam. What is Sarvabhauma means? Sarvabhauma means the ruler of the whole planet Earth. I don't want that. Then na Rasadhipatyam, Rasatala, Patala, all these netherly lands below the Bhumaloka, Bhuloka. I don't want them also. Okay. And Rasadhipatyam, Apunarbhavam, na Yoga Siddhir. I don't want any yogas, any siddhis. I don't want any of them. And then what he says, na punarbhavam va. This is very, very, very important. Huh? I don't want even liberation also. If it is at the cost of what? Leaving your lotus feet, oh Krishna. Okay, he prays to the Lord in this way. Krishna, if I wanted to leave your lotus feet and I've been given all these facilities, I don't want them. Instead, I want your lotus feet. Okay, this is the realization which he has come through. Who? Vritrasura. Vritrasura is the hero of the Asuras. But inside he is, in the heart of the heart, this is what he is. So anyone can read translation. No?
O Lord, source of all opportunities, I do not desire to enjoy in Dhruvaloka, the heavenly planets, or the planet where Lord Brahma resides. Nor do I want to be the supreme ruler of all the earthly planets or the lower planetary systems. I do not desire to be master of the powers of mystic yoga, nor do I want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Okay, this is how the person becomes after becoming Nishta. He doesn't want anything actually in this world or in this material world. He doesn't want anything, and he don't even want to liberation also. What he needs, the seva. Okay, the seva of the lotus feet of the Lord. So after regular hearing and reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, what happens is, this is what happens. This is what Parikshit Maharaj is telling to Sukadeva Goswami in the 5th shloka, in the 6th shloka. Okay. So once a person becomes Nishtha, this is what happens. But before Nishtha, what happens is, there is a process known as Anartha Nivritti, which goes for, might be some, what we say, decades for some people and for lifetimes for some people. But still we are on the process. Okay, we are in the process. The moment the mud comes out and this all anxieties or all this lust increases or this anger increases or the desires increases, just be in the process, still be in the process. That is the only thing which Parikshit Maharaj tells us now. Okay, but after that what happens, this kind of nishta comes into the heart of a devotee. Okay, when the cleansing is completed. Prabhu, thank you so much. Sorry, I became, even though I am late today, I have taken a lot of
Actually,
time.
no. In this connection to the same liberation, I don't want any liberation. There are songs also there, right? Jagannashtakam we have, Damodarashtakam we have, even in our Sikshashtakam also.
Prabhu, you see, any of the pure devotees, if you see, they will repeat this point, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yeah. Devotees repeating is not that thing, but here the Asura is repeating.
Yes. Let me read this translate purport also. A pure devotee never desires to gain material opportunities by rendering transcendental loving service to the Lord. Never gives up. Never desires actually. A pure devotee desires only to engage in loving service to the Lord in constant association of the Lord and his eternal associates, as stated in the previous verse. Dasanu daso bhavitasmi. Dasanu daso bhavitasmi. As confirmed by Narottam Das Thakur. Tandera Cherana Sevi Hariharaya Namaste. Tandera Cherana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas. Jenama Jename Haraye Abhinash. To serve the Lord and the servants of his servants in the association of devotees is the only objective of a pure unalloyed devotee. Sorry, pure devotee consciousness. So this is a beautiful word. Nadera Charana Sevi Bhakta Saneva Janama Janamaha Yeya Abhilash. Very good. Actually, we will stop here and we'll start reciting Bhagavad Gita slokas. We will continue from 6 to 7.
I started late and then I have taken all the time, but then those 3 shlokas are very, very important, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes,
So what happens when we do here Srimad Bhagavatam every day?
Yes, thank you very much, Prabhuji and Mataji. wonderful verses. This is 2.8.6 and 2.8.5 and 2.8.4. 4, 5, 6. Actually, this Prabhu, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, frequently repeat this verse. Karnarandrena, 2.8.5. The and three verses are connected verses, and that is the why we do Bhagavatam, why we have to read, why we have to relish Srimad Bhagavatam. How can Krishna situate in our heart? By regularly hearing and chanting in the association of devotees. In the association of devotees, everybody is benefited. Everybody is benefited, right? It's a mutual benefit. Why we are joining calls in the morning, every morning? We wanted to improve our sadhana. We wanted to develop love for Krishna. We wanted to progress in Krishna consciousness. How can we do? Unless we won't get this association, we can't do. And I am very much grateful for all of you for everyday joining. And thank you so much for your association. Okay. And slowly and steadily, I mean, no need rush. Why rush? We have to understand the essence. We have to understand the process. So, మనం ఇప్పటి వరకు 2.87 భాగవతం ఫస్ట్ క్యాంటో కంప్లీట్ అయింది. So, how much we remember? Because of in the material world, especially in the Kali Yuga, Manda Buddhi and Manda Bhagya, dull. Our consciousness is dull actually, We can't remember what happens the previous night and what happens a few days back, what we took. Prasadam. That is a very relishable thing, but we won't be able to remember immediately. Maybe we have to put some effort to remember. But the thing is, now when we come to the call and associate with devotees, we are in the Krishna consciousness. We are spending with Krishna. We are spending our time in Krishna consciousness. So slowly and steadily, that's nice, no problem. 284, 285, 286. I'm going to share this translation and verses. Just meditate for entire today. Okay, thank you so much again. Dhanavad pranams. We'll start Bhakti Shastri slokas. We'll start with Madhavi Mataji. Is still there, Mataji? Hare Krishna. Madhavi Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yesterday you joined and left the call.
Because of weak signal, Prabhu, got disconnected.
What happened?
Because of the weak network, it got disconnected, Prabhu.
Achha, okay. We thought that, I said, and I mean, everybody done. That's where Prabhu, Wealth Mount Prabhu, little concern. Mataji joined and but okay, that is anyway. Prabhu, Mataji, you start because you have exam, na? Read with the translation also, okay?
Okay.
Recite with translation.
Yeah. Bhagavad Gita 4.8. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya च दुष्कृतां dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. Translation. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति so Arjuna. Translation. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4.34. Tadviti pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti jnana Jnanina Tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Bhagavad Gita 5.22. Ye hi samsparshaja bhoga dukkayonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man doesn't delay in them. Bhagavad Gita 5.29. Bhoktaram yajna tapasya सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदां सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमुच्यते. A person in translation. A person in full conscious of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerity, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material misery. Bhagavad Gita 6.47. Yoginamapi sarvesham matgatenantaraatmana Shraddhavan bhajate yoma Same yukthatamo mataha. End of translation. End of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga, and he is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Samyukta Mataji, Ram Reddy Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
మాతాజీ ఎస్టర్డే మన గ్రూప్ లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టాను, ఇది ఈ స్లైడ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేసి, ఇఫ్ ఎనీబడి ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ 1-2 days ఉంది, టుడే అండ్ టుమారో. సో ఎనీబడి
Yes, Prabhuji. We forwarded Prabhuji already in the group.
ఓకే ఓకే, ఇట్స్ ఓకే, ఇట్స్ దేర్ ఓన్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్, ఇట్స్ ఓకే. యా, బోత్ ఆఫ్ యూ డూ. థాంక్యూ.
Yes, Prabhuji. Bhagavad Gita 4.8. परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सो Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Tad vidhi pranipatena परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदीक्षान्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gnatva mam shanti mrichati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनन्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्तात्तमो मतः. And of all the yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Ram Reddy Prabhuji, Lair Prabhuji.
అచ్చా, ఓకే ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ.
Yes.
ఎనీబడి?
ప్రభుజీ నేను చేయొచ్చా?
యా చేయండి, బట్ శ్లోకాలు చేద్దాం.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ. ఇక్కడి నుంచి కదా ప్రభుజీ? పరిత్రాణాయ. పరిత్రాణాయ సాధూనాం వినాశాయ చ దుష్కృతాం ధర్మ సంస్థాపనార్థాయ సంభవామి యుగే యుగే. జన్మ కర్మ చ మే దివ్యం ఏవం యో వేతి తత్వత త్యక్త్వా దేహం పునర్జన్మ नैति मामेति सो अर्जुन तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेशयान्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः यो हि संस्पराज्य ये हि संस्पर्शाज भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आध्ये अन्तवन्त कौन्तेय नातेषु रमते बुधा भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां यत्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति योगिनाम् अपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ता तमो मतः. Sorry, Prabhuji, tune koi na kuta because didn't learn it the right way. Thank you.
Okay, it's okay, Mataji. Thank you for recitation. Yeah, anyone?
Can I also do, Prabhuji?
Yeah, do it.
Hare Krishna. परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेति तत्त्वता त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन तत्विधि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यान्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखायोनय एव ते अद्यातवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृतं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिं रक्षति योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ता तमो मतः. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Anyone? We can close today early because outside voting also going on. So, anybody, please.
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सो अर्जुन तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यान्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकामहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिं पृच्छति योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मनः आत्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ता तमो मतः. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So let me see. One Mataji done, Sapan Prabhu done, Deepa Mataji done, Mataji done, Samita Mataji done.
ప్రభుజీ నాకు క్వశ్చన్ ఉంది.
చెప్పండి.
ఇది ఎక్కడో చదివాను భగవద్గీతలోనో శ్రీమద్ భాగవతంలో ఐ థింక్ భక్తి సిద్ధాంత సరస్వతి ఠాకూర్ ఆర్ సమ్మన్ ఎల్స్ ఇన్ ద పర్పట్ హీ మెన్షన్ దాట్ డివోషనల్ సర్వీస్ అండ్ భక్తితో మోక్ష ఇట్ విల్ జస్ట్ స్టాండ్ అట్ ద డోర్ టు వెల్కమ్ యూ అని అదితో కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఉంది ప్రభుజీ. అది ఎక్కడని గుర్తు రావట్లేదు. ఇఫ్ యు నో జస్ట్ సెండ్ దట్ టు మీ. గుర్తొచ్చిందా మీకు?
వర్స్ ఏదో బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ బియాండ్ లిబరేషన్ ప్రభు. ఓకే, భక్తి ఇస్ after liberation. What happens after liberation? Moksham for what? Of course we get rid of all the sufferings, but actually after liberation bhakti, right? But we have to do some service. We have to do eternal service with Krishna, otherwise we won't be there in the spiritual world after everything done. So bhakti inclusive of everything. If we do bhakti, it leads to liberation, and ultimately we get the point of eternal service to Krishna.
Yes,
Let me
Prabhu.
add if you think, if you want
I'm
to add.
actually looking for that verse, Prabhuji.
Looking for that verse. Okay. I will find out, Prabhu. I mean, I'm not sure. We have to search in Veda base or Vanipedia. You can try to put some words, whatever you know, and then you can find out.
Prabhuji,
Yeah,
there
that's what I'm
it is
doing.
important to understand what actually liberation is. Liberation is basically liberation from the material miseries. So that is in fact the first step in bhakti and Ante you are beyond this body, you are a soul, you are not the body. Our realization that is called liberation. So what is the end goal for all other paths? Everybody wants to achieve liberation because they want to get rid of this material suffering. Inka body valle anni suffering ostondi. So I want to get out of this bodily concept. I want to get out of this cycle of birth and death. That is basically liberation. But in bhakti, what happens? Okay, after liberation, then what? You got rid of the material, but what are you supposed to do once you have got rid of the body, once you are out of this cycle? So that is important. So bhakti automatically is that you are engaging in devotional service. You are using your spiritual senses in the service of the Lord. That is basically bhakti. So those who do not have that end goal of bhakti, what happens? They get liberated, but then eventually again they fall down into because they don't know how to engage their senses. So somewhere the soul again gets dissatisfied, doesn't know what to do. Then it again comes back. Again it desires. And again comes back. So liberation is at the door means liberation is ready to welcome us. And that is the first step in bhakti, which is the last step in other paths. That is what is my understanding. Maybe Lalit Mohan Prabhu can correct it or further add to it. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, actually, this liberation, whenever we speak, with regards to I don't want liberation, I don't want this, I don't want that. So this liberation is actually Sahyajya Mukti. There are 5 kinds of liberation, out of which the first liberation is you don't develop that service attitude, and then you get a liberation. Then where will you go? You are not entered into spiritual worlds. Then where? So that is a place where you go to the Brahma Jyoti. That is Sahyajya Mukti. So that is not actually wanted by any of the devotees. Okay, they are interested in service to the Lord, whether it be in the spiritual world or the material, it doesn't matter for them. But that mukti, which gives you like, you are still there. You are not doing anything in any activity. That mukti they never desire. And one who is very attached to the service, it doesn't matter whether he is in spiritual world or material world. He doesn't.
Dorkin Prabhuji, I just pasted in chat. So it's by Srila Bilvamangala Thakura. If I'm engaged in devotional service unto you, my dear Lord, then very easily can I perceive your presence everywhere. As far as liberation is concerned, I think that liberation stands at my door with folded hands, waiting to serve me, and all material conveniences of dharma, artha, kama stand with her. Yeah, the verse.
Okay. It's 428:51.
మొన్న చదవమనుకుంటా.
అంటే మీ డౌట్ ఏంటి ప్రభుజీ యాక్చువల్లీ?
No, I wanted this verse, Mataji. ఎవరికైనా తెలుసా అని, సో దొరికింది.
So you tell me now, Sapan Prabhu, what you want to become? చదివారు కదా? You got that?
అర్థం కాలేదు ప్రభుజీ. What's the question?
Question is, what do you want to do?
Devotional service is the ultimate and only goal of life, Prabhuji. మిగతా అన్ని are byproducts.
అదే ప్రేమ, bhakti. So that's where if we perform bhakti sincerely and seriously, without ulterior motive, that's what Guru Maharaj says in the classes. Sincerely we have to serve. Whether we know or not know, scripture doesn't matter. We have to put our effort. Hearing and chanting, chanting and hearing. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Satyaka Gunai, Shavanadi Sunicha verse. Correct. This is one of favorite verse for me. My Guru Maharaj also frequently quotes this. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Satya Kagunai. We have to put our endeavor, hearing and chanting, chanting and hearing. The dormant love for Krishna will be awakened with the process of hearing and chanting. What to hear? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. These two scriptures are enough to realize and go back to God. And which includes of everything. It will lead to moksha, it will get rid of all the sufferings. Okay. And eternal life. Eternal life. And this is in the songs also we've seen this one. They can be said, the pure devotee's consciousness is like that. Even they don't want to go back to God actually. They can be situated in even hellish planets. But don't, please Krishna, don't give that forgetfulness. Wherever I am, always remember Krishna. Never forgets. That is the only their mode. Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana. Smartavyam Satatam Krishna, Vismartavyam na Jatuchit. That's the thing. That is highest. But many times Prabhupada writes, when we do perform bhakti, we get eternal life and going back to God. But that is highest, more. They wanted to be situated in this middle world also. But always remember Krishna never forgets. That's the thing. If Krishna engages all of us in eternal service. Okay, so liberation from everything. If we have right consciousness, and that's three things perfectly said by Guru Maharaj. Sincerity, seriousness, and without any ulterior motive. No selfish motives. Selflessly serve. Bhakti means selfless service. Okay. And again, you got the verse only. Thank you very much for sharing. So, Prabhuji, my done చేద్దాం. I'll wrap up the call. Okay. One second. మీరు చేయండి శ్లోకాస్. Without looking, చేయండి ప్రభు. Let's go, ప్రభు.
ఏ శ్లోకాస్ చేయాలి ప్రభు?
భగవద్గీత శ్లోకాస్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ప్రభుజీ.
ట్రై
అవి ఏమేంటో చెప్పండి ప్రభు. వినిపిస్తేనే అవ్వలేదు అప్పుడు.
ఒక్కొక్క లైన్ చెప్తా చేద్దాం. చూడకుండా చేద్దాం.
అవి వద్దు ప్రభు. ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ 2 లైన్లు బాగానే వస్తాయి. సెకండ్ లైన్ నుండి దేనికి అటాచ్ అయితే తెలియదు. కాంటెక్స్ట్ తెలియకపోతే.
నో యూ కెన్ డూ ప్రభు. అట్లా అంటారు కానీ చేయండి ప్రభు. ఏం చిన్న ఇవన్నీ మన ఎగ్జామ్ రాసిందే జస్ట్ ఫర్ అవర్.
అరే నో ప్రభు. అవన్నీ ఇంటలెక్చువల్ దిస్ థింగ్ చేయండి
ప్రభు. పరిత్రాణాయ సాధన చేయండి. ఫస్ట్ లైన్
పరిత్రాణాయ సాధూనాం వినాశాయ చ దుష్కృతాం ధర్మ సంస్థాపనార్థాయ సంభవామి యుగే యుగే. జన్మ కర్మ చ మే దివ్యం ఏవం యో వేత్తి తత్వతః త్యక్త్వా దేహం పునర్జన్మ నైతి మామేతి అర్జున. తద్విద్ధి ప్రణిపాతేన పరిప్రశ్నేన సేవయా ఉపదేక్ష్యంతి తే జ్ఞానం జ్ఞానినస్తత్వదర్శినః.
ఏ హి సంస్పర్శజాభో.
ఏ హి సంస్పర్శజా భోగా.
దుఃఖయోనయ.
You go ahead with that, Prabhuji. I don't know. I forgot the next 2 lines. First 2 lines కూర్చున్నాయి, second 2 lines
then ఆద్యంతవంత కౌంతేయ నతేషు రమతే బుధ.
Okay. ఆద్యంతవంత కౌంతేయ నతేషు. Okay. ఏ హి సంస్పర్శజా భోగా దుఃఖయోనాయ ఏవ తే ఆద్యంతవంత కౌంతేయ నతేషు రమతే బుధా.
Then భోక్తారం. Peace forward.
భోక్తారాం యజ్ఞతపసాం సర్వలోకామహేశ్వరం సుహృదం సర్వభూతానాం ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिं रक्षति.
Yes, Jai. Then 647, Prabhu. Yoginam api.
योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनन्तरात्मनः श्रद्धावान् भजति यो माम्. What is the last one, Prabhu?
Sameyuktam.
समयुक्ततमो मतः.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu. Thank you so
Okay,
much
no,
for
it's
helping me.
okay. Thank you. It's okay. We'll stop here. Thank you so much for your association. Dandavat pranams again. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha. कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. श्रील गुरुदेव की जय. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow, Friday. Hari.
Thank you so much.